All right, ladies and gentlemen of the 118 scale action figure community, that also includes 4-inch, 3.75-inch, so forth and so on. Today I wanted to bring to you a video that I promised that I would get to you, and that would be of my 4-inch Marauders Taskforce / Vitruvian Hacks Med-evac unit featuring Doc and his crew. Before I get to that, there's something that's just on my heart today, and I just want to say I appreciate what the men and women of our armed forces do for us on a daily basis. They don't get the credit they deserve. You have athletes that sign $1 million contracts and live lavish lives. Meanwhile, you have a 20-year-old or a 19-year-old go overseas and fight for the freedoms for us to have uh, wealthy lives and good lives and free lives, and they pretty much get pennies. There's no $1 million contracts signed for our armed forces. Unless you've been under a rock, you realize that we are under a I guess, I don't want to be too, but we are right now under a time where our government is doing some things, got a couple of our soldiers killed out in Afghanistan, and that's not cool. And someone needs to really step up and figure this thing out. But for now, I don't have the answers, and I feel for those who are trying to find that answer, who are charged with finding that answer. I have something here that I wish I would never display, but I bought it just so that a time like this I can display it. And here you have it. There's my memoriam helmet, gun, and boots. And this is in memoriam of the soldiers we lost over the past few days. So there's that. Another quick little look at that. Get closer. And it's a pin, so I can pin it onto something, which I'm going to do. And may those brave soldiers rest in peace. One is a Navy medic, and the other 12 are Marines. So simplify, thank you guys, and rest in peace also to that Navy medic. I don't know what their saying is, but I know Marines are simplify. So with that being said, let's get into some talk about Vitruvian Armory or Vitruvian Hacks, which is Boss Fight Studios, and Marauders Taskforce. Let's discuss. I recently sold a figure that I guess I had remorse for selling it, but I guess it needed to go. And that is my Doc figure. There he is, Doc. Let's read a little bit of the card. And it says here, G.I. Joe codename Doc, file name Carl W. Greer, military medical doctor is his primary military specialty. Secondary military specialty is chaplain's assistant, birthplace Concord, Massachusetts. And you can read the rest of that. If you want, you can pause it and read the rest of that. There you go. So yeah, please don't judge me too heavily, because I usually don't paint on my figures or anything like that. But what I like to do is, I like to get them pretty much right in a roundabout way, and then I'll take it from there. But I try not to paint too much on my figures. So, with that being said, here's my version of Doc. How did that happen? Alright, there we go. And if you see, this particular version of Doc was purchased through Marauders Taskforce. And I like him, he works for me. He's a little more modern than what G.I. Joe did. the figure that they used for Doc, I didn't think was too great. Could have been done well. Could have been done a whole lot better. So with that being said, I created my own. And we'll just put that on him there. Well, that's his gun. Put that there. And this also purchased on Marauders Taskforce website. That's his, I guess you can call that a stretcher or a cot. I'm not sure. So yeah, there you have it with my Doc figure. I have the figure stand left over, and so that's a pretty cool plus right there that I have that figure stand. But ultimately, this is my Doc, and at this point, you notice he has a half helmet on. He's got some pouches of equipment, and pretty much he's still wearing his brown Doc uniform. He's got a pretty much a similar helmet to what he used to have, just a little more updated. And yeah, this works for me. So I don't have anything mounted on the back of him. See, he does have that peg hole just in case I want to use a backpack for him. And he also has extra equipment holes, which is normal in the Marauders Task Force community. They allow for a lot of equipment to be mounted to the figure, which is really cool. That's one of the problems we have with the Hasbro line, is that there would be so much equipment, but nowhere to put it all. So that's pretty cool, right? Don't you think? Excellent. So without further ado, I'm going to start introducing you to some of his teammates, because what I've done here is now Doc is not alone. He has a crew of military specialists that go into battle with him to help remove injured members. You know, like injured GI Joes and injured whoever gets injured out there. You got a highly trained and skilled group of members coming after you to rescue you. All right, there you have it. This is one of Doc's partners, and this is one of the members that I've discussed earlier, who are highly skilled, who comes to rescue downed members in the field. So let's move Doc over here. And what you have here is one of my favorites. He is one of the that head sculpt is pretty cool. I really like it. He's got a little pouch for a cell phone or extra magazine clip. He's got extra magazine clips on his chest, or on his flak vest. He's got pouching. He's got a drop leg holster. He's got another pouch here for holding equipment, just like with Doc. He's got back hole for pegging a backpack in, and plus pegging in extra equipment. Now with him comes I really need to learn the names of these guns, but I really don't. But I can tell you here that looks more like a Glock with an extended clip. That's more what that looks like. He's got a helmet, which is the opposite of Doc's, and that just signifies that Doc is Doc, and he is pretty much a helper. So he's got a black helmet with a brown patch, where Doc has his signature brown helmet, and I put a black patch on the front for him. So yeah, that's the next member. So before I move on from him, I want to discuss a little bit about what I've done here. All equipment attached to the figure and figure body comes from Marauders Taskforce, and you can go on their website and you can start buying. Sorry about that. You can start buying little different pieces of equipment. You can buy these drop-down leg holsters, flak vests, equipment pouches, all that stuff, the helmets, all of that off of MaraudersTaskForce.com. And the head sculpt is actually Vitruvian hacks. VitruvianArmory.com is where you can get head sculpts like that. And they work. They're pretty cool. When you get them, they come with a small peg in them. You just pull that peg out and they match right up to G.I. Joe and Marauders Task Force bodies. So there you have it. And the gun is actually this is an actual G.I. Joe gun from Hasbro. My next figure is a figure done completely in, this is completely Marauders Task Force. Same gun as Doc, of course Hasbro. I don't have as much equipment on him yet, but he does have a waist mounted holster with it looks like that's gonna be hard to get out of. Let's try this. Okay, there you go. Shoot. That's probably I don't want the holster to come off, but it's probably going to. So there we go. His gun is out. That looks more like a 9mm. And when you buy it, it does come with a silencer, but I don't have it on there. I just kind of kept it like this. All right. So here's his holster. And he has pretty much the same helmet as this gentleman have, but that is definitely a Marauders Task Force head sculpt, body, equipment, flak vest, belt, same hole in the back for equipment, and a backpack. And yeah, he's pretty simple. I got more stuff coming for him, but for now I just kept him simple. Let's move right along. My next figure is a kit bash of sorts. When you see him, you'll recognize him off the bat of who he is, but I've changed the head on him, creating a totally different character. And there you have it. He's a character of Roadblock. That was the retro Roadblock, which was made very well. I really like that figure. However, I also have two other Roadblocks, so I said, you know what, I'm just going to customize this one out. So there you have it. And he has a head from VitruvianArmory.com. The Vitruvian Hacks head kind of fits better than any other head I have because I didn't have to paint it, and I don't have to paint the Roadblock. They work kind of well. As you see, it's about 2 shades off, but it works for me. He does it. It does it. All right, and for this movement here, and he fits in as the gunner of the Rescue Tomahawk, and he also is a heavy machine gunner. So let me get him equipped up right here so I can show you what he looks like with his equipment on. And there you have it. Bam. He's got a little, I guess that's a target sight over his eye, and that comes from Marauders Task Force. That's pretty much all the customizing I've done with him, other than give him big guns that I had from Hasbro, and I believe that's the gun he came with as Roadblock. And this is his flak vest that he has, and I usually don't store him away with this, but this is what he would have in battle. So far, this is my group coming together. So I don't know the names of all these guns, maybe one or two of them, but that gun I believe is the M249. Now my next figure I have here, just moving right along. Pretty much you're starting to see they're all fairly uniformal. Same flak vest, same body, gun from Hasbro, head to toe Marauders Taskforce. And I don't have a stand for him, so let's see if I can get him to stand up on his own. Bam, jackpot. My next guy here does not have a holster or a drop leg pouch. I have extras, I just haven't given him one. I want him to stay pretty much like this. And there you have it. He's got the same flag vest, back open for equipment, helmet, let's get that on him a little nicer. Alright, there's his helmet. He's got a gun which looks like a M6. It looks like a more modern version of an AK-47. If anybody knows what that is called, leave me a message in the comments. And he is head to toe Marauders Taskforce. His gun is also Marauders Taskforce. So alright, moving right along, we have my next guy here who has the brown pouch on the front and some equipment pouches. He also has a drop leg pouch and a drop leg holster. Now, if you start picking up these drop leg pouches and holsters, this side, sometimes I cut them off, and you'll see in my next series of figures that I cut this part off and just keep the one leg drop pouch. So this guy here is head to toe Marauders Taskforce. And I guess you're starting to see, if you're not familiar with Marauders Taskforce, you're starting to see how cool their figures are, how customizable they are, how interchangeable, how, you know, just how awesome they are. And there you have him with his helmet. He's pretty much uniform with everyone else. He's got his 9mm with the extended magazine, and he's got a gun from Hasbro. I'll stick that there like that, and let's get him to stand up with his crew. If we can, let's see. Come on, guys. There you go. Right, there you go. All right, and that right there, my friends, is my my emergency Med-evac crew. And with that being said, if they are assigned to a Tomahawk, they need a pilot. I don't see a pilot too. So, without further ado, we have our pilot here. Isn't he cool? Now, he is head sculpt by VitruvianArmory.com, and whole body and equipment is by Marauders Taskforce. Gun, of course, is from Hasbro. So check out this helmet. This helmet you can get from Marauders Taskforce, and it actually has a mic. It's got drop-down goggles or eye protection. Goggles is such a weird, broad, generic term, but this is eye protection, and I guess you can call it sun visors also. You can bring that up, And there you have it. Now they're gone. Let's bring it back down. Now here they are. Now let's see our pilot with it on. There you have it. Let's fix that a little better. He's got his microphone on the side, as you see there. And he's got his full flight uniform. And this is more of a battle uniform. I have quite a few of these actual body sculpts. They're pretty cool, man. You can make how do you call them? Team building. That's what you can do. That's what it's called. You can team build these guys, get different head sculpts, and I can actually take all these heads and slap them onto these bodies and make an insane group of militants. I really like what Marauders has done with things. So if you see here, he has a bunch of peg holes on his arm, and that's classic for Marauders suited figures. See, on his leg, you can put a knife there, you can put some pouches there, pouches, and he also has one right here where you can stick one of those pouches or a holster. See, that's his holster. He doesn't have a drop leg holster. That's just married straight onto his leg, right to that strap, and there you have that. So we'll get him to, you know what, I don't want to make him hold his gun. I'm just going to make him stand there. Put his gun at his feet. And there you have it. Hopefully you have enjoyed what I'm doing here, what I've done here. If you think about it, there's quite a few guys for Med-evac crew, but one just carried over to the other, and now here you have it. So think about if you have Doc and the pilot up front, then you have 2, 4, 6 spaces in the back, which is perfectly doable. And with that being said, you can also stretcher in a figure that may be injured, or you can drop some of those guys off on the ground to help in an insurgent situation, if I said that right. In a battle, you can drop them off and you can carry back your wounded and come back for all of them. Either way, they're highly trained and they can get the job done. So I hope you enjoy my customized out figures and what I'm doing here. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to link them down below in the comment section. And I will get back to you as soon as I can, as soon as I see them. I check this often, so please like, please subscribe, please share, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hopefully the next one will be my Marauders Taskforce / G.I. Joe SWAT unit. Thank you.